Hey everybody, Dale here with TerraVest Capital Partners for part 2 of the multi-part series where I'm breaking down our strategy that we use when investing in non-performing mortgage notes or delinquent notes from lenders and hedge funds. In part 1, I talked about our working with the owner-occupant or the homeowner to get their loan reinstated. Well, why do we want to get a loan reinstated? Well, if we can keep an owner in their home, if we can keep somebody in their home and just getting them to the point where they're making their monthly P&I payments again, because we bought this as a delinquent note from a lender, we bought it at a significant discount from what that original loan balance was. So by the borrower just beginning to make their normal monthly P&I payments again, that creates a very attractive return for that investment that we can then pass on to our IRA or self-directed IRA investor. So that's always going to be our first objective. And at the same time, we're helping somebody stay in their home. And it just works out great for everybody. Now, there are going to be situations where we run across a borrower that maybe the repayment plan didn't work for them. The trial period that we put them in, like a 1-year repayment plan to demonstrate that they're committed to making those monthly payments. Or in the beginning, if we just simply can't come to an arrangement on a repayment plan, we have a second step before we end up going to foreclosure, and that's step B. We have a few things in step B. We can either grant a loan assumption. Maybe a real estate investor comes in and does it as a subject to, or they find somebody to come in and assume that loan and begin making those monthly payments again. That's a strategy that we can follow. If that doesn't work, we can always do things like deed in lieu and cash for keys, where we take the property back prior to the foreclosure sale. We don't follow through with the foreclosure. That stays off the owner occupants or the homeowner's records. They avoid the foreclosure. And at that point, we either sell the property to one of the local real estate investors that are in our network of real estate investors around the country. Maybe we retain the property, do a light rehab on it. Put a new owner-occupant in there on a 30-year note. There's just a number of things that we can do if we end up taking a property back through cash for keys or deed in lieu. So in the last part, we'll talk about the foreclosure. Foreclosure is pretty simple, but that's step 1 and step 2 in a 3-part series that we can use when we're investing in non-performing mortgage notes. So if some of the things that I'm talking about may sound of interest, or it does sound of interest, and you have a self-directed IRA or you have a rollover IRA from a previous employer and you're just sitting there in cash, if you go to the top of my profile, you'll see a link to the investor interest form. It's a simple Google Doc form. You're just answering a few questions. You're not committing to investing. All you're doing is you're just filling out the form and expressing interest, saying, yes, I would be interested in knowing more about this as deals come available from lenders and hedge funds and what have you from around the country. So anyway, that was a quick update on step number 2. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.